Hello everybody. So today I want to talk about calculus. The topic today is about differential equations. So now I want to show you how to answer. For this one, we need to find about complementary solutions and particular solutions. So about particular solution, I need to use about variation parameters. So for this one, we need to concentrate this one first. So I will put about yc equals to e to the power of lambda s. Later that we do first the derivative of yc, and we have lambda e to the power of lambda s. So if we do first the derivative of e to the power of lambda s, we keep the same e to the power of lambda s. Later that we do first the derivative of lambda s, you got lambda. Now we go to second the derivative of yc, and we have lambda square e to the power of lambda s. Because this is about complementary solutions, so I need to put this one equals to number 0. So I will put this one go in here, and this one go in here, and we have like this. E to the power of lambda s, we can do about factorization. And this one equals to number 0 in here. So I will put number 1 go to the right. Next, we put the square root. For the both sides, we have lambda equals to the square root of negative number 1, and lambda equals to negative with the square root of negative number 1. And this one, that is about I. That is about the complex unit. And we have yc equal to c number 1 e to the power of lambda s. And now we need to change lambda into I. So we put I here. And we have c number 2 e to the power of negative is. So for this one, we can apply this formula in here. This is about Euler formula. This one to use about the complex numbers. So this one we have, this is one is I. So we will have about cosine theta plus I sine theta. So theta in here we change for s. So if we use this one and this one for this one in here, and we can simplify like this, and that is about yc equal to c number 1 sine s plus c number 2 cosine s. And now, because we use about variation of parameters, we have yc in here. And now the first thing we need to analyze, I will put y number 1, that is about sine s. Y number 2, that is about cosine s. And 3s, that is about this one. The next one we need to find about Wronskian of y number 1 and y number 2. So we can put like this. So this is about the matrix. And we know that y number 1 that is about sine x, y number 2 that is about cosine x. So first derivative of y number 1 that is about cosine x. First derivative of y number 2 that is about negative sine x. So we have the formula in here. If we want to find determinants of the matrix, we have 8 multiplied by D minus BC. So this one we can simplify like this. So sine x and sine x, we have negative sine x squared. Cosine x, we have the negative sign here. Cosine x squared, negative, we can do about factorization in here. And this one equals to number 1. So this one number 1 with negative number 1. So we have negative number 1. And now, after we have everything in here, we can find about YB. That is about particular solution, negative y number 1. And we have the integration y number 2 GS over the Wronskian. Y number 1 and y number 2 ds plus y number 2 the integration y number 1 gs over the Wronskian. Now y number 1 that is about sine x, y number 2 that is about cosine x, gs that is about secant of x tan x squared. Over negative number 1. The next one we do the same, but this is y number 2, so we have cosine x, the integration sine x, we have secant of x tan x squared over negative number 1. ds. So we need to simplify negative, we have positive. So secant of x that is about 1 over cosine x, so we just have tan x squared. So negative number 1 we put outside, we have negative cosine x. So this one we can simplify. So we will have about sine x squared, because tan x squared that is about, sine x squared over cosine x squared. So this one sine x, and we have sine x squared, that's about sine x to the power of number 3 over cosine x to the power of number 3 in here, because we have secant of x. Now we just concentrate this one and this one. We know that tan x squared, that is about secant of x squared minus 1. And this one, the integration of secant of x squared, we have tan x number 1, that is about x. Now let's go to the second one. So we change sine x to the power of 3 into sine x squared and sine x over cosine x to the power of number 3. So we know that sine x squared plus cosine x squared equals to number 1. And now we have sine x squared in here. So I will put this one go to the right. So this one we will have like this. So in this one we can use about integration by substitution. So I will put about u equals to cosine x. Later that we do first derivative for the both side, and we have negative sine x dx. Because we don't have the negative sign in here, so I will put this one go to the left, and we have negative du equal to sine x dx. Cosine x we change by u. This one similar. Sine x dx we change by negative du. And now we simplify like this. 1 divided by u to the power of 3, we have u to the power of negative number 3. This one we have negative 1 over u. And now we have the final answer. This one we have negative number 2, negative number 2. About u, that is about cosine x. So after we get everything in here, we need to go back to this one. So about this one, the integration of this one, that is about this one. So the integration of this one, that is about this one in here. So I will put this one to change for this interaction in here. So negative and negative, we have positive. So here is about YB. And now we have YC and YB in here. And we have the final answer. This is the end. Thank you for watching.